After a playtime of 24 hours, 24 minutes and 29 seconds, over the span of 4 days, I've beaten Monster Hunter Wild's low rank story, and I've continued till now where I'm currently Hunter rank 26. While I have many praises, criticisms, and overall feedback to give on this game, that isn't what this video is about. No, this video is about whatever was going on with Zoh Shia and the lore implications it has. So get strapped as I ask the question, what was Wyveria facing? To start, let's get our facts straight about what Wyveria actually was. Wyveria is the ancient civilization we slowly uncover over the course of Wild's story. We know Wyveria had a complete mastery over the laws of nature, that they created the Dragon Torch, the Guardian monsters, and also the ruins we see throughout the game. Things like the Everforge, the ruins the Woodwoods live in, the shattered buildings in the Ice Shard Cliffs, and possibly, although it's never outright stated, the Wind's Gasp. We know they didn't create the Wyvern's Milk, but did study it. This paints a very clear picture of what Wyveria was capable of, but doesn't tell us much of what drove them to create Zoh Shia. That we must derive through gameplay and environmental clues. It's pretty obvious to those who've been paying attention to a lot of Monster Hunter lore, especially the deep cuts, and I don't blame those who haven't, who caused Wyveria to create Zoh Shia, or at least what it's alluding to who drove them to create Zoh Shia. That who being Fatalis. But we need proof. We need to build our case first. What was shown of Wyveria and what we know of its technological and civilizational capabilities far exceed anything we've seen in Monster Hunter yet. It's clear anything capable of even challenging such a civilization would need to be in a league of its own. Something capable of destroying civilizations, which narrows down our options quite a bit. There's very few monsters capable of destroying settlements, let alone entire civilizations, even less with the reputation, history, or lore to back it up. This paired with the implications of Capcom choosing to finally publicly talk about the Black Dragons, thanks to Monster Hunter World Iceborne, which we know happened thanks to our Palico mentioning Plunderblades in high rank, and the Monster Hunter World Iceborne Palico armor description mentioning the hinterlands, and the appearance of several Iceborne New World monsters appearing in this game, like Ebony Odegaran and Vulgar Anjanath. All in all, I think this leads to the conclusion that Iceborne happened on some level, mostly canon or mostly not, and Fatalis, or at least a Black Dragon, was responsible for Wyveria creating Zoh Shia. That leaves us with Zoh Shia. How does it fit into the puzzle? Let's begin with how it supports the Fatalis, or Black Dragon, theory. First of all, it needed to be strong enough to be capable of repelling a civilization-level threat. I mean, obviously, but it's the abilities it has that truly make me believe it just has to be Fatalis that was this threat. First of all, it has many of the Fatalis' unique abilities. The ability to use fire and lightning is nothing special until you take its moveset into account. It shoots waves of fire like Fatalis has demonstrated in Iceborne, it shoots magma balls like Crimson, and reddish lightning like White Fatalis. It stands on its hind legs like all the Fatalis, and beneath its white feathers is an entirely black scaled hide, something our hunter strangely takes note of.
That must mean... No, there's no way.
Its face and roar even look like a mashup of Fatalis' face and roar. Not to mention, at times their themes sound very similar. With all the evidence before us, it's hard to deny Fatalis was the one who drove Wyveria to create Zoh Shia. The final piece of evidence being a lore concept called the Equal Dragon Weapon. A note, I can't cover that wormhole without detracting. So please go watch this video by My Name is Biff covering the entire theory and the lore associated with it. Now, what does a scrapped piece of lore have to do with Zoh Shia? Well, if you look into it, it's pretty obvious. The Guardian monsters are artificially created monsters, just like the Equal Dragon was in concept. But to note, the Equal Dragon weapon wasn't a previously existing monster. It was made up of several different parts from different monsters. And if you take a close look at Zoh Shia, you'll see it's not labeled as a Guardian monster, simply as Zoh Shia. This implies it's not a previously existing monster at all, but that it is simply its own monster. That, paired with the fact that Zoh Shia shares a lot of its moveset with Fatalis, implies that Zoh Shia is a chimera, just like the Equal Dragon weapon was in the old scrapped lore. On top of that, both Zoh Shia and the Equal Dragon weapon were bioweapons created by an ancient civilization to stop a threat to their supremacy. What's even more damning is if you look at the Guardian Arkveld set, which is used making parts from Zoh Shia, which it does drop Guardian pelts, but that's because it's an artificially created life form like the Guardians. It looks exactly like the Equal Dragon weapons had. All in all, I think the evidence we have so far points to 1. Fatalis or a black dragon threatened Wyveria. 2. Zoh Shia is made of Fatalis parts. And 3. This is essentially a modern conceptualization of the Dragon War and that scrapped piece of lore overall. In conclusion, I think Zoh Shia was created by Wyveria to defeat Fatalis. It was created using parts from Fatalis, likely gathered during initial expeditions to try and take it down, and that this ultimately backfired on the ancient civilization known as Wyveria, causing the downfall and all the ruins we see throughout the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I put a lot of work into it despite all its flaws, its mic peaks, and its very strange script, which I apologize for as I wrote it at 2 in the morning while on a Monster Hunter Wilds binge. I hope you all have a great day. See you next time.